Hey, I've been wanting to do this video for quite a bit now, but I never really found the time since I was a little bit busy. But now that I do, I wanted to a do a pickups video of what games I've been buying and what I've been playing a bit as of late. And I've got quite a decent haul, so we may be here for quite a quite a bit, like a small bit, give or take. But anyway, let's get let's get things kicked off with the PS1. Yeah, I got these games a couple weeks ago, and I'm gonna start with this one, DDR. I have a small history with this game. The first I've ever heard of DDR was through Dance Dance Revolution Mario Mix, and it was a pretty interesting game. I didn't know what I was doing with it at the time, but I remember going on the dance pad and just doing a lot of these weird moves, like right here, just like I didn't know what I was doing, but I I did have a blast with it, and even though I never really got the highest of scores on there, I wound up having a blast, and I got the PS1 copy right here, but I even got a copy of Dance Dance Revolution Mario Mix. Yeah, it's it's also got a little bit of history for me, but I'm not sure where it's. Oh, there it is. Yeah, right here. Yeah, yeah. The copy still looks good. I haven't played in a while, but it's a super fun game. If you if you ever have the time for it, buy it. Buy it. At least if you got the money. Like if you want the whole thing, like the dance mat and the full game, you get it. But if not, emulate it. You won't regret it. But moving on. I've recently started playing this game, Resident Evil Survivor, and this is actually a very interesting game. It's for me, it's basically RE7 before RE7 ever became a thing. It's kind of arcadey. Like you play as this guy who's an amnesiac, and he's trying to figure out who he is while trying to solve the mystery of what's going on with Umbrella on an island that's strangely been converted into a city. It's a very interesting title, and I kind of hope that Capcom remakes this one day. Like make it a first person shooter or a third person shooter. You know, kind of like like either RE7 or just RE4. But either way, I want a good remake of this survival horror title. I may end up doing a review of it one day, but you never know. But moving on. I've also been playing this game, Pac-Man World 2. I also have a small history with this. I remember getting this on the Xbox, and it was it was a little difficult for me since I was a little kid, but now that I'm older, it's not as difficult, but it can get a bit cumbersome at times. Like, you always have to bounce on the platforms that are above you, but the enemies can get a little too cumbersome and repetitive, and well, the bosses can. I mean, the bosses aren't necessarily hard, but they just move a bit too much. You always have to time your rev charges right. But that's as far as first impressions go. Anyway, I've got Tide the Tasmanian Tiger. I never played this game as a kid, and I never really cared much for Australian culture, but so far I'm actually pretty impressed. I'm you, I mean, you play as a Tasmanian tiger and just floating around and gliding with your boomerangs. It's certainly it's it certainly stands out from the other platformers that we had at the time, but I was a Sonic fan, so I wouldn't know. But you do fight against this evil emu known as Boss Cass. At least as far as I know. Well, here's an old title, The Incredibles. Back when I was a kid, I got this for GameCube, and I never beat it back then, but I did have a good time with it, and I think it's pretty much worth the price if you're into old games that were made from a Pixar movie that I deeply enjoy. In fact, The Incredibles might be my number one Pixar movie, but you never really know. But I do love The Incredibles. I mean, Elastigirl, love it. Anyway, so I've got Rogue Galaxy, and I don't know much about this game other than it being an action RPG. You're essentially playing as these space pirates going around trying to do shit. I don't really know. I haven't played this before, so you're gonna have to. I mean, I did see gameplay videos of it, but outside of that, I don't really know much about the story. But moving on. Siphon Filter 3, the Omega Strain. Yeah, back when I was a kid, I remember seeing this at a Costco sale, and I never got it because I was a kid back then, but times have changed, and I can actually play it. Although, I can't play it on, excuse me, I can't really play it online because, we're living in the modern age. Something's wrong with me today. We're living in the modern age. So, it's an interesting game. I'm still trying to get used to the controls, and I'm only on my first mission. I'm trying to figure out how to go through the tutorial, but I'm trying to figure out what to do about it and trying to get into it, but neither here nor there. Now there's a good one. Rocket Power Beach Bandit. Back when I was a bit into Nickelodeon at the time, like SpongeBob, Cat Dog, and a little bit of Invader Zim, and also enjoying Cat Scratch. I did enjoy a little bit of Rocket Power. Granted, I didn't watch the whole show, but I did love the whole extreme sport aspect to it. Like, you're doing lots of fun shit in there, and you get to pull a lot of cool tricks. Yeah, I actually got this on the GameCube and I beat it, but I never beat it on my PS2. Maybe maybe I can try beating it on the PS2. You you never know. I mean, I have a huge backlog, so I'm gonna have to take it into consideration. But here's my final game that I've got, and this one's right now for me is a banger. Mercenaries, Playground Destruction. I remember playing a demo of this on a disc back when I was a kid, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, you get to move around vehicles, you get to kill North Korean communists and blow shit up. It's a lot of fun. I remember playing as this guy, Nilsson. He's a Swedish mercenary, and he's as bloodthirsty as they come. And, well, there's a whole lot more to it beyond just blowing shit up. But right now I'm trying to get used to the game, and right now I'm having a blast. I may even play more of it when I have the time, but